and I'm with you with the area of ABFM, that is Advanced Business and Financial Management. Good morning. Okay, so today we'll be starting with the first chapter of this specific area, that is Basics of Management. Under the Basics of Management, what are we going to study? Under Basics of Management, we'll be studying what exactly management is, what are the various functions of management, and how do we deal with management altogether. What is the importance of the management altogether? Right? So please let me know if I'm clearly audible as well as visible. Please confirm everyone. All set? Okay. Then let's pursue further. Rahul sir, I'm not that active on WhatsApp. Normally, the problem is that I'm not someone who's very active on WhatsApp. So I don't create WhatsApp groups at all, because what will happen is I'm someone who would be more active on Telegram than WhatsApp. So that's why I don't create the WhatsApp groups, because it really gets all mixed up. So there is a Telegram channel which you can join. I'll share the link of that particular channel by the end of the class. Right? It is 8 a.m. The class is from 8 to 9. On the Telegram channel, you'll always find me active there. Matlab, regarding the classes, if sometimes what happens is that people tend to get confused regarding the timing, and if I have to change the timing, every single detail, my previous PPTs, my previous classes, everything, many of the PDFs and all is also available on this particular channel itself. So that means you'll find way more activity on this Telegram channel than my activity on WhatsApp altogether. That's a more reliable area. And I'll also share my email ID with you. The email ID is basically, in case you're not able to go to the Telegram group, just let me know. And at the same time, through the email, in case you are not able to join the classes, in case you are having any problems or you have a doubt which you want to discuss in the class itself, then you can definitely share it with me on the on the email ID, and then I can discuss it in the class itself, because I have already got the doubt. That makes the entire doubt clearing process way easier, because I've already got it, right? Okay, everyone, let's talk about the basics of management. Acha, what do you mean by management, everyone? How do we define the term management? Under this, management is basically, one of the best ways to explain management is managing. This is the first point. Manage. Second is men. Managing is done, men is done. Then what is this T for? T for tactfully. Nobody is happy if they have to work. How do you make them to work? That is managing men tactfully. Management basically means to get your work done through others. You are not going to do it. You'll ask others to do it. Or you will do a part of it and the others will do the remaining part of it. है ना? So when we talk about management, it could be referring to the persons running an organization who are responsible for decision making. In simple language, if I have to tell you, management is basically a process. In this process, what are we trying to do? We are trying to get our work done through others. But if we are trying to get the work done through others, there are other things as well. It's a process. Number two, if it's a process, then at the same time, we would want it is done at lowest cost. Matlab efficiency. I would want that if I'm able to do the work, I reduce my cost so that I can increase my profit portion. Right? Then next point is effectively. I would want that my work is done, and that too in the most targeted area is given to me, that after this particular time you have to complete it. So I have to complete it within that time tenure as well. So we have got three things: process, because it's basically a particular step by step process under which we do the management. Secondly, if we are doing it this way, the next point that arises is efficiency. That means we would want to do the work at the lowest cost, and then effectively we would make sure that the target is completed within time tenure that we want. So how do we define the management? Management can be defined as a particular way, a particular process through which we do work or we get the work done. है ना? It is basically the activity or the job of being in charge of the company, organization, department, or employees. You are the head of the organization. You have to get the work done through others. Right, everyone? This was the particular topic. Now comes the next point. There are many renowned names when it comes to the area of management. One of the few renowned names is Peter Drucker. We'll find his name in multiple areas of this book because this particular name is super important. There are many philosophies which are given by Peter Drucker. He is the famous management guru. He has written many books on the management itself. Now, how do we define this area? He has written about the tasks, responsibilities, and practices of the management area. I'm sorry. Now, when we talk about this area, Heinemann, 1973, has written that Frederick Winslow Taylor was the first man, according to the history, who deemed to be deserving. Have you heard this name? If anybody is from the area of accounting, from the area of management there, have you heard the name Frederick Winslow Taylor? F.W. Taylor, also known as Frederick Winslow Taylor. Taylor was the person who started working in the area of industrialization, was very renowned in his working. Anybody? Any ideas? When we talk about F.W. Taylor or Frederick Winslow Taylor, Frederick Winslow Taylor was a renowned name during the industrialization who has contributed a lot towards the area of productivity. He had, yes, Taylor's particular theory is called Taylorism. There are 2-3 very renowned persons: Taylor, Fioll, and Drucker. These three names are something that you will find in this particular book a lot. He gave the theory of Taylorism. When we talk about Taylorism, according to him, what was it? Taylorism can be stated as a particular ideology that he developed. He thought he had given a particular thought process that in an organization, productivity should be enhanced. He gave in his study, he has talked about even motions as well. There's a particular study that he talks about, motion study. Motion study says, while teaching you, if I'm doing this a lot, this is basically what? Probably I'm doing a lot of unproductive movements. What will happen due to this? If I'm doing a lot of unproductive movements, I'll get tired of it, and ultimately I will not do it again. And then that is called fatigue study. I'll need rest more than anybody else who's just sitting properly and then taking the class, because they are conserving their energy. So one thing is Taylorism, where he talked about motion study, fatigue study, then he talked about motion, fatigue, then he talked about time study, then all these particular things, then he talked about work study as well, the entire work together. So basically this person was very scientific when it comes to the area of management. That is why he's also known as father of scientific management, because of this specific area. And then Taylor was basically the person who laid down the foundation of the entire management, which was more of the scientific nature. This is just a particular portion of the point that in the last 75 years he has lifted the particular. He has contributed a lot, and definitely his working has been contributing a lot. Even in the basic area, this is not only in your book he's given in terms of his work in multiple books. There is there in the management of class plus 2 even. He's such a big name. Acha, now comes what is the particular area, everyone, that is called management process. The management process was given by Henry Fayol. The name was Henry Fayol. His ideology towards the area of management is a little different from that of Taylor. So his particular ideology is called Fayolism. And what's the difference between the two? Anybody, any ideas? What's the difference between the two? I'm sorry. When we talk about Henry Fayol gave the particular ideology of Fayolism, in which basically now Taylor was someone who was strongly someone who believed in scientific ways of working. According to him, if two things are just kept together, their way of working should be totally engaged. They should be totally engaged in the working only. There should not be any further point. While Fayol said that if you keep things together, they might not talk, but humans will. Their motivation, their demotivation, their morals, and everything, the unity of the organization, these all things play a very, very important role. So the one who actually gave the human touch of in terms of the management is Henry Fayol. So his particular theory was known as Fayolism, while the scientific theory was given as was shown as Taylorism. Got the idea, everyone? And then we talked about the management process in the last class. What was the management process, everyone? Do you remember this point? When we talk about the functions of management, it always starts with planning. What to do, when to do, how to do, by whom it should be done. First is planning. Once you have planned the particular technique, then you organize what kind of resources are required and from where it is required. Then third is staffing. Once you have determined how the organization should look like, what are we going to do, then the next point would be getting people to work. You are making sure that the people are getting into the organization and doing the work. Then the next point would be directing. You will be telling the people what to do, how to do, and you will be guiding them, instructing them, motivating them. And the last one would be controlling everyone. Under controlling, obviously, their things are never gonna be the same. There are points where things are gonna vary. So when things are gonna vary and there are gonna be problems, so then they use controlling. In actual, the entire term was post corp. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating at that point of time was there, but in actual it is written as controlling now, and reporting and budgeting. All these five were given by Fayol only. That is why Fayolism plays a very important role, because this lays down the foundation of your entire module. Module A is this only, everyone. Kindly note down this particular portion. Kindly note down RB. R is basically reporting. R is as reporting, and B is budgeting. The first five are given by the first five are given by Henry Fuel. Just a moment, writing it over here itself, everyone. This is given by Henry Fuel, and the last two are given by Urvik and Gulik. Kindly note it down, everyone. Done, everyone? These are the various acronyms through which you can learn these points. So these are called acronyms, the way that makes your learning easier. Because obviously many of you are not from the same background of management, so for you all these terms are absolutely new. So find out ways of learning it. I'll be showing you a lot of ways of learning it, and one particular thing I strongly believe in is don't try to go for the way of sophisticated learning. Ki, tips per you are trying to learn. Last attempt what happened was, people, I had bankers who were preparing for it, and they said ki ma'am, by the end of the day na, we have studied so many advantages, disadvantages, characteristics, so many of these have we have done, that now I'm confused that what belongs to what. I said you shouldn't have done that. Just focus on only one thing, understanding the concept. If you know the concept, you will remember the advantages and disadvantages naturally. When you're trying to cram them, ultimately all those areas would get connected, because what will happen is entire planning, organizing, staffing, directing, control, every chapter has got their own characteristics, then significance, features, as well as nature, objective, and advantages and disadvantages of each and everything is given. If you try to learn that way, what will happen? You'll end up being confused. So it's better that you are sorted about these things. Done? Okay. Now comes the first topic, planning. Acha, everyone, what do you mean by plan? We've just talked about it in the first class as well. What do you mean by the term plan? In the orientation, even we talked about it in the YT series. I'd been covering this particular point. What do you mean by the term plan? In the simplest way, not here, but in the upcoming chapters, na, the book has covered it beautifully. They call it W and H. Planning is basically what, when, why, whom, and how. Got the point, everyone? Indeed, it's a draft, ma'am, because we are deciding what to do, when to do, how to do, and by whom it should be done. That is how we define the term planning. Planning involves, acha, everyone, one more point is there. In the book, they have written that it is a call on the future. We are trying to look into the future and trying to decide about it. I have a doubt, everyone. Please help me out. Is planning futuristic or past as well? Is planning only looking into the future, but it is also looking at the past as well? True or false? Or I would say A or B. Is planning futuristic or it is both? When we talk about planning, planning is deciding in advance what to do, when to do, how to do, and by whom it should be done. So technically, planning is something where you set the goals, you try to achieve them, and once you are not able to achieve them, then you work upon those deviations, and then you clear them up, and then you're back to the track of your plan. So technically, if you want to grow in future, you want to know what are the mistakes that you have made in the present or in the past itself. So technically, it is both. Very good. Done, everyone? Look at this. When you plan, you decide in advance what is needed to be done, where and how it is to be done, by whom it should be done. This is where they have actually given it in the book itself. I think uh, in one of the sessions recently, I have covered. I think I'll be able to show you that as well. There it is. This is how beautifully, but this one part of the book is that they cover these things very beautifully. Look at this, everyone. This is how they had shown in the IIBF book when it comes to planning. What is to be done, where it is to be done, how it is to be done, where it is to be done, and who will execute, who will do the work. Because we need to know, otherwise, there would be too much of confusion. So this is planning. This particular screenshot is basically, or snapshot is taken from the IBF book, chapter number 2, that is planning, everyone. Got the idea of planning, everyone? A very simple term which talks about whatever is going to happen in the upcoming time. Done, everyone? After planning is basically something which helps the managers to keep a track of the work, to know where we stand, and it helps us to motivate us to achieve our goals. Acha, next point is organizing, everyone. How do we define organizing? If I decided to keep the class, for this particular class, I had to arrange everything. That means for the lighting, electricity, then we needed Wi-Fi, then we needed everything. Matlab, first of all, I'm going to sit down and talk. Where am I going to create my particular studio? How am I going to create it? Where is the particular thing going to be created? Everything has to be written in detail. And here, after the brainstorming is done, I will start looking into the resources that I need to work upon. Isn't it? Any doubts, everyone, till now? Keshwa sir, that's a very beautiful answer, I would say. Future with results of the past. I look into the past first, and then I will plan my future accordingly. Now, when we talk about the area of organizing is basically arranging the funds as per the plans. So, in this case, what are we doing in terms of this area? We are going to arrange the materials, the capital, technology. But then one of the basic things that organizing talks about is division of work. Everybody, you and I start working, but the point is we both are doing the same thing. What will happen? Duplication of efforts, and ultimately that will create a chaos. Who solve this issue? That is organizing. If in an organization you have finance department, HR department, admin department, then in the banks itself you have a cashier, you have the back end, you have one particular people, so one set of people who are into the public dealing and the other are not. So what is it? You are basically doing what? You are into the division of work. You will be dividing the work to the people, then allocating, very important words, responsibility and authority, everyone. What do you mean by authority? Authority means right or command to power over others. I have the power where I can command over the other people. And organizing becomes a more and more complex function. it becomes more and more complex when it comes to the growth of the business, right? Because the coordination required in multiple departments will increase if the organization is growing. For example, companies like SBI has to keep on regulating itself. Otherwise, what will happen? They'll face a lot of losses then, which is definitely not good. So, if your organization grows, keeps on growing further and further, you have to understand it is very typical, and we have to note down how are we going to achieve it. That is organizing for you. Then comes organizing has first part is task management. Whatever the task we're going to do, disintegrate it, look at the multiple areas, who will do, what will do, groups that will be involved in. For example, India is currently playing test cricket with South Africa. You know, test series has just started. So technically, for the test series, whatever they needed, whatever players they needed, everything was decided at once. For example, if they say that we need five bowlers and we need six batsmen, that is basically task management. Okay, take it, this is what I want. I'm not putting the people right now into the work. I'm just giving a structure of the organization. Will that do? Or if I say that in the South Africa, the pitches are more towards the area of bowlers. So what will I do is I need more of bowlers so that the company, the South Africa as a country, is not able to make good runs out of it, because in this area batsmen really don't work well. That is task management. Na? I am looking into the particular task overall. If I am looking from the point of view of cricket, even what am I doing? I am trying to become clear about it. Then reporting structure. Acha, think about it, everyone. It's a war going on, and you don't know to whom to report. There is no senior. What will happen? You will be baffled. One particular war strategy has to be applied, and nobody knows what to do. So technically, we have to decide that who will report to whom after any point of time. The particular clarity is absolutely important. The reporting structure, who shall be reporting to whom, should be cleared. And how do we take decisions? Are we going to impose the decisions on the people, or we are going to make sure that they are doing the work in a way that we are including them? For example, acha, everyone in MNCs now, earlier there wasn't a point where people used to be included. Now you have to include. Tell me about it, everyone. If I randomly put the people on a specific if I randomly put people on a specific target, then you have to do 10,000 units in any case in one particular day. They'll be like, who's putting all this? The task management, reporting structure, decision making, it has to be done at every single level, and you have to include all the people in it. Included everybody, that is part organizing. Organizing, then we have the next is staffing. There I was just talking about the structure. Now I have to decide whom I have to put. But if I'm looking at the India South Africa test series, what happens is, if it is decided that we will, so if I really talk about the practical area, South Africa is basically a bowlers area. So this, the pitch is very good for the bowlers. So technically, if I take six bowlers and five batsmen, random, right? If I do this, then what will happen? Then the pitch would be more challenging for them, because ultimately we are relying more on this. Or what you can do is you have a person who is good bowler and good batsman as well. So who will balance it out? I do it that way. Now the point is, if it is determined one particular set of bowlers, one particular set of batsmen, the point is, who are we choosing? Have we chosen anyone yet? Everybody? Have we chosen anyone yet? Or I'm just giving you a brief decision making ki, acha, theek hai, we need this much amount of bowlers, this much amount of batsmen. Ravi sir? Manisha ma'am? Have I given the decision that this particular person is going for the match? No. I just said I need this much amount of bowlers, this much amount of batsmen. This is organizing. Organizing clearly says that we need to do this. This would be the structure. Structure making, idea making, organization, reporting area is all a part of organizing. Always remember, because in the paper na, they play with this. How many detailed information do you have for that particular topic? In the staffing, I will put people into this. When I want to put Virat Kohli, he's basically a good batsman, putting him into the area of working there. Now this is what I'm deciding, who is going to be a part of the team. I am going to put Siraj into it, putting into it. Then am I putting Rohit Sharma into it? He's the team captain, so he's taken first. So then the part is where I'm putting people, I am filling up those seats is called staffing. When I'm just putting the seats and saying ki this is a place, this is a place for VP, this is a place for president, this is a place for board of directors, this is a place for the admin area, this is a place for everything. So when we define all that, that is organizing. When we put people to work there, that is staffing. Acha, under staffing na, we have 3 R's. Just like in planning, we had WH family na, that is right person, right time, at the right place. Okay, that is staffing. They have 3 R's. Acha, everyone, randomly, if I talk about Virat Kohli, can you put Virat Kohli into bowling area? Maybe many of you won't be knowing he's a very good batsman. If you have an interest in cricket, you will be able to find this out. He's someone who's a very good batsman. But if I put him into the bowling area, what will happen? Will he be happy? I am someone who's from the commerce background, totally into the financing since I was maybe in +1, +2 when you start working in this field. You know, since then, if you randomly come to me and say, nahi, ma'am, you get into chemistry, you try to do physics, what will happen? My entire base would be gone. If you put anybody at the wrong position, they will be dissatisfied with their work. That is what staffing says. In this particular book, of specifically in terms of module A, if I have to specify, don't try to learn or cram the things as it is, but learn the things through the conceptual area. Planning, you are just thinking India is going for test series with South Africa. Cool. What is our aim? We want to win this particular series, as India has never won a series in terms of test series in South Africa. Then that's the first point. We said that there are problems there. What kind of problems are there? The pitches are something which is bowler friendly, not batsman friendly. Matlab, the area is challenging. We are looking at what are the challenges, how India is going to play there, who's the particular, how is India going to deal with it, how is BCCI arranging the entire thing, and that is all planning. And then we are looking at the staffing, at the area of organizing. How many batsmen we need, how many bowlers we need. Then we put people to the team. This is the entire 11 people team that is going to fight against who's going to play the test series against South Africa. That is staffing. Okay? The major activities are recruitment. Recruitment means you tell people we are open, we are hiring. That is recruitment. And then when people apply, we tell them, Nini, you are not suitable for the job. You are also not suitable for the job. You are suitable for the job. That is selection. While recruitment, you are telling everybody ki pata hai, we have got a position where we are in need of people. Go ahead and please apply. That is recruitment. Then selection is what? Selection is basically choosing the people. And then once you have chosen the team, then you go for the training. You go for the development. Right? Got the idea, everyone? Actually, everyone, one particular thing, since I was talking about cricket, I hope many of you are comfortable with the example of cricket. If not, just let me know. I can switch over to another example as well. Because management is something you will find in your school, you will find in your colleges, you will find in your banks, you will find in a temple, you will find in a church, you will find in a mosque. Everywhere you will have management. Rather, in our houses, even we have management. Because in my kitchen, if I enter my kitchen, I have a specific area where I keep my the water there. There's a specific area where I keep my entire gas station. I have a specific area where I'll keep my salt even. So that is also management. Okay? All comfortable with the cricket example, everyone? Ma'am, actually, now, in terms of the management that we are studying management from a broader perspective. We're not talking about only the bank. If I look at the bank, there you have counters. If I go to SBI, one of the basic things I look forward is where is the counter. You go to the first counter, you take the ticket, you sit in the waiting area, and then you reach the particular person. That is also management. In the bank, they would have decided कि we are going to open this much amount of branches. This is how the organization is going to grow. That is also planning. Then you recruitment is what? Recruitment process that we do is what? In the banks, IBPS SO, the positions are out every year. People apply for those particular jobs and then they clear the examination. Many of them don't. So over for 1,000 seats, more than 1 lakh people compete. I think the last time I'd seen there was a particular paper where more than 5 lakh people competed. That is that is what? That's a process of recruitment. And then recruitment is telling everybody that we have an opening. And then many people apply, then you don't let the many people enter. That is selection process. And then once you enter, you go through the PO training. What is that PO training? If you are going for the IBPS PO, anybody who entered as a clerk or anybody who has entered as a PO, you entered in any way. You were not able to just start the work right away. There was a provisional period where you learn the working. That is also part of management. This is something where the management is clearly applied. Right? The basic purpose of taking different examples is to let you know that the management is not limited. It is unlimited rather. Then directing. People work and you have subordinates, you have seniors, you have to coordinate with people. In the bank, you cannot sit down and say that I belong to the loan department, I will not talk to the cashier. You just can't do that. You are working in the same organization. As and when there is a requirement, as and when there is an obligation that both the parties has to sit down and talk, you will have to, despite the fact that you don't like the person, isn't it? So directing is what? Guiding and supervising people. One of the coolest things about directing is having 4 kids. The 4 kids are SMLC. Everybody, was the bank example something that you could relate well? All sorted, everyone? Look at directing. Directing is SMLC. Supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. One of the best ways to learn the elements of directing is SMLC. Supervision means I'm looking at the other person. It's a simple ideology. If you are not looking at me, probably at this point of time, I would be resting, I would be sleeping. It's too cold here, so maybe I would have been doing something else. I am not going to represent myself in the early morning time. You wake up, you get dressed, you are ready so that someone is looking at you. Supervision is that. If someone is going to check my work, I'll always be worried. If nobody's going to check my work, then I'll be chill. Ki nobody's watching me. How does it matter? That is supervision. Then comes the second point, that is motivation. When you start working, everything is not going to fall in place. There would be points, there would be days when you will be feeling I'm a loser. Nahi ho raha. I just can't do it anymore. That particular day, you need someone to tell you that it's fine. For example, if we talk about um, let's talk about all the people who were involved in the freedom fighting area. Okay? When we talk about all the people who martyred, starting from Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, when we talk about Bhagat Singh of Punjab, Uddham Singh, who went and killed General Dyer in England, these people motivated other people. कि ठीक है, you can really fight against the Britishers. And everybody was fighting against the Britishers, be it Mahatma Gandhi, be it Nehru. All these Jinnah, these all people were involved in the specific area where they were important for the freedom fighting. That means they motivated other people, the people joined, and that's how the motivation of the entire country came together. In an organization, even you are giving JIB, you are giving CAIB, starting early in the morning, late in the evening. That is motivation. Otherwise, everybody loves their comfort zone. Why are you going out of it? Motivation is the promotion. The motivation is basically the increment. The motivation is a bank career advancement that you can see. Then is leadership. Under leadership now, uh, okay, let's talk about leadership there. Everybody who was under Mahatma Gandhi, they were into the Dandi March, they were into the peaceful area. While people who were working with Chandrasekhar Azad ji, then when we talk about Mr. Chandrasekhar Azad, he was someone who was very renowned. He was so furious by the time he died. The Britishers had to make sure that he's dead. There is no more bullets coming up. He killed himself so that he doesn't get killed from them. So, and the particular aura of these kind of people was they were such a strong leader that they could make people follow them. If I talk about Steve Jobs, Apple was someone. There was a point, if you go through the history of Apple now, you will find there was a particular person called Jim Collins. Collins was someone who was good, but when you talk about his working, he couldn't really take the organization where Steve Jobs wanted it, because Steve Jobs was the father of Apple. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, they started the entire company. The idea of Apple was theirs only. And that came out to be a premium organization. Now, how these organizations are growing? Because of their leaders. When we talk about in our country, I think one of the best RBI head I had been okay. I for a moment I'm forgetting that specific name. Um, I'll just let you know about the name as well. So I think the particular ideology is when you have a good leader, now you will always be in a better situation. The organization will always be dependent upon the leader. If I go through the English code, there's an English code that if a pack of lions is headed by a dog, they'll fight like a dog because they're looking at the leader. If a pack of dogs is headed by a lion, they'll fight like a lion because you see your leader being very strong, right? That is leadership for you. There is communication. We all in the offices are mailing to each other. That's a form of communication. That's a formal communication method, isn't it? That is communication. That's all about directing. And then is controlling. Last point is nothing goes as per the plan. There would be points where things don't go as per the plan. I was thinking I think this is a point when I'll be starting the class, this is what I'm going to do. At the end moment there was some issue with the PPT. Then what will happen? I'll just change the PPT and then come back to it. That means at one point of time my plan and my execution had a gap. Then what will I do? From the next time, what will I do? I'll sit down and prepare the particular things, set up things beforehand so that I can make sure that it doesn't happen again. I'll make sure the particular Wi-Fi is working properly. I'll just check again my system. So whatever we can do, that is corrective action. That would be always based upon the problem that we are facing. That means controlling is making sure that the plan that you are doing, that planning that has been done, that is still continued. So controlling is taking corrective action. When you find that there is something going on, you will monitor, measure the performance, and then people and compare them with the standards that they have set. The CCTV cameras in the bank are a part of controlling. When the cashier is sitting, I think I'd been to Yes Bank recently. Then I think, yeah, I was basically, I belong to this area of commerce now, so I'd been into the bank audits as well. In a bank audit of Yes Bank, there was a specific branch. The branch, they had a particular rule. Not every branch I've seen, but that particular branch had a rule that if you are entering that area, you cannot carry any purse or anything in your pocket other than your phone. And along with that, you'll be checked first that you are not having, you have to keep every penny that you might be having in your pocket. Your pocket should be absolutely empty. Only then you can enter. And once you have entered, before leaving, you'll be checked again and then you'll be coming out. That is what a part of controlling. Because if you're the cashier and if anybody is involved in embezzlement, how will you deal with this? So that's how the controlling process is done. Done, everyone? Got the idea of controlling as well? These are the 5 main functions of management. If I am looking at controlling function, first of all, you set up the standard. You have a plan already set. Then you measure your performance. I was thinking that I will be finishing this much amount of topic today itself. That's a standard. Then I will measure what have I done today. Then I'll compare that what I wanted and what I did today. What is the gap between the two? And then there would be reasons that why this happened, why that happened. Then I will answer that. This is the deviation, this is the reason, and then I will improve further. That is taking corrective action. In the book, one particular problem is that almost every part of these 6 chapters you will find processes. So one particular thing I would like to request you is, please make your own quick notes. You are going to get this particular class PDF. You will get practice questions from my side as well. I'll give you endless practice questions as well. Then if you are a part of the particular batches, and you will also get unit testing from our side. Everything is available, but I'll still say make your own quick notes. The reason is, on the last day you cannot open all these files and say, "Nahi, I'll study everything on the last day." Write some quick notes. Write about post corp, write about directing SMLC, write about the process of controlling, write about the process of marketing, process of staffing, then write about all these processes in a tabular form in your notebook, so that on the last day, all you need to do is you can just open it up and go for the examination. That is basically a far-sightedness when it comes to your paper. Got the idea, everyone? Everybody, since this is the first class, I'm not going to put you through a lot of information, because that would cause information explosion. So that's why in the first class, I'm just going to give you the gist. The 5 functions are going to be 5 individual chapters that we're going to deal with. Be it planning, be it organizing, be it staffing, be it directing, or be it controlling. All these are separate chapters in the books. That means the best way is, when you are learning all these, make some quick notes. Acha. What I'll do is, I'll just start with the importance today, right? I'll just finish off the area of importance, and then we will call it a day. Everybody, any doubts till now? Anything that you would like to ask? Putting up the poll. Please fill up the poll, everyone. Everybody, what's the importance of management? The poll is out. You have got around 20 seconds. Please go ahead and fill it up. Till then, what are the importance of management? Management change management tool. Effective change management tool. Pata hai, in an organization, I'd been working for years. And all of a sudden, the organization says, "Nahi, we are changing the website view. We are changing how we are teaching. We are changing how we are maintaining our notes. So go ahead and start with it." What will happen? My first thing would be, why? Why do we have to do this? Then the organization comes to the people today and says, "Ki everybody, we are just today changing our way of working on the software. You have got around 5 days." Thank you so much, everyone. I received the particular poll response. Now, importance of the management. Importance is all sorted there. How is it sorted? Because in the importance area, change management, we are accepting that there are going to be the changes. And how do we accept the changes? In terms of accepting the changes, we said that only one part has changed. That is, we tell people, ki, yes, we are changing the software. Done. Then after a certain time, we tell people that we're going to change the working further. Then you tell people, you do it in phases. People will never have a problem. So management helps you to accept the changes. Helps to achieve the group goals. When group sits down, they decide their work and everything. Then it becomes easier. So it helps them to achieve the group goals. Optimum utilization of resources. The resources that we're going to use are to be determined in advance. And once you know what are the resources that you possess, your working will get better. Improved functioning of the business. It's obvious. If you have all the knowledge about the work, then why would we fight? We know what kind of working is there, how we are going to do it. The plan is already determined. Organizing is already done. What are the roles of the people? Then there would be an improved functioning. Then development of various resources. You already know what resources you possess and what do you need. So technically, your productivity will increase manifold. Then contribute towards better organization. Again, if you are working in a proper manner, you'll make profits, and then many organizations are basically providing this to the ultimate beneficiaries only of the society. That means they're giving it to the poor, ignorant, all these they are giving to this particular set of people there. So contributes towards better organization, because once you are contributing towards the economy, you turn out to be a better organization for the world there. And then is proper direction to the organization. If you are just starting with an organization and working, then it's of no use. Steve Jobs knew that he wanted to create premium things. He didn't want to create something which was not premium. So he was sorted. He had decided what was the proper direction of the organization that he wanted to have. Then everyone, good morning, sir. Then everyone, now comes the next point, integration of various interests. I was working in a group where I was in the area of marketing. There was some particular person who said that he'll be doing the HR work, or all these people are already predetermined by the organization and the people working in it. So technically, all these people who are working in the organization, someone is working for money, someone is working for team management learning, someone is doing for career advancement opportunity. All these people are at the same level, isn't it? Then management of fluctuations. During COVID, the entire world was having major fluctuations. You had to manage it. You couldn't sit down and cry. And innovation. Again, technological developments are there. If we do not have proper innovation, then the organization will die. Inculcation of team spirit. People are working together. If they don't love to work with each other, they will end up having major problems. Then is problem solving. Problem solving means you are identifying the problem and trying to resolve it through the areas of management. The team will sit, there would be a brainstorming session, everything would be done accordingly. And the last is it helps in the employee growth. That means we are looking into the situation where we are interested in the employee growth. We are making them go through the training and everything, so that you are going through management. Okay. To conclude, we have finished off the conceptual part. We have done the basics of all the first module terminologies, as well as we learned towards the area of importance of management today. Any doubts in the area that we have done today, everyone? Everybody? Is there any doubt today? No doubts? Chale. Then before I end my session today, you can look forward to our courses through our website, everyone. If you haven't, then please go ahead and review. This is our website, that is www.adda247.com. Go on to the website, go on to the area of JIB and CIIB, go on to the area of JIB and CIB, go on to the area of CIB June 2024. The batch that we have just started is of the scholars batch, which is for ABFM, right? That is available here. If you are preparing, then the entire four subjects are also there. And if you are looking forward towards the fifth subject as well, you want to go for elective as well, and you want to see which elective you should choose. For that, what you can do is you can get the Mahapack. As under Mahapack, all the five electives are covered, and you can watch all of them, and then you can decide which particular elective you would like to choose, right? So that particular benefit is there in terms of the 2.0. Mahesh sir, I got the point, but abhi to currently this particular time is available. We'll see if any other thing can be accumulated further. Don't worry. Chale. Then you can take up the Mahapack 2.2. Double validity is going on. That it means that if you buy the courses, use the code Y541 and you will get double validity. At this point of time, double validity is available, so you can invest yourself in terms of the courses, as double validity means lowest price and maximum discount is available. So kindly check it out on our website and our app for further details. And acha, everyone who is in the paid classes, one more thing: after the completion of the class, there is a PDF that is available for you. So you can read whatever we did in the class today through that PDF as well. So go ahead and check it out after the completion of the class as well. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll be meeting tomorrow at the